What is up, folks? Welcome to another video of the Passion Traveler. Um, I'm kind of happy to be back home. I'm not gonna lie. It does feel quite comfortable to be back in your own bed, your own house, in your own routine. Because don't get me wrong, vacation is absolutely a great time to spend time with your family members. If you're still one of these lucky individuals that have family members, you spend some time and disregard all the things that you have to face through in the daily life here in back at home. To be quite honest, when I started the MGTOW journey, it wasn't easy. It's not like I want to be in this particular. I'm not doing MGTOW because I want to feel popular. I want to feel, or because out of resentment or bitterness, or to follow because I found it quite amusing. It's one of the best decisions that I could have done. Last year I couldn't travel at all. Traveling last year was not in the picture anymore. That's when I was still with the last ex, because she, obviously it's not her fault. It's not my fault. We were just excited at the beginning. Did some things we should have not done. We kind of spent some money that kind of started to affect our savings and opportunities to do things for ourselves, and little by little I started to feel very unhappy with her because things were not working out. She was more destructive more than anything else and very manipulative. And when I broke up with her, I was so, probably I could call it a trauma. I didn't want to experience nothing like that ever again, because all my relationships have been a failure. None of them have ever been successful. It's a cruel reality, but I think a lot of us are not going to be able to marry him, not because of being top 5 high tier norm. I mean, yeah, high tier normie, a low tier normie, or just being short. I don't know exactly what's really going on in the world beyond the black pill theology and everything that's been preached out by MGTOW. It's just more of a circumstance. You're not charismatic, or you don't have nothing that really can spike an interest in the girls that you consider attractive in your own eyes. It's a very difficult task to achieve, and that's why I decided not to date anymore for a minute. It's just complicated. And last year when I broke up, I had that desire again to travel. I couldn't afford it at the time. It took me a while to bounce back, get some of my savings, paid everything off, and voila, started saving since the beginning of 2025. 2025 was a year that I made a lot of decisions. Get back in track, regain that ambition that I had when I was young. And this is something that I agree with the YouTuber YBC Too Cool. He has stated in one of his videos, when you're dating, maybe you guys get that opportunity. It doesn't even matter. She can, it's not ever gonna be the dream girl that you desire, but you're excited that you found someone that you believe she cares about you. And you start to lose that ambition, that hunger for life, and you just get comfortable, or I don't know what happens, but you lose a lot of ambition. You might lose some testosterone because you're kind of getting your things, man, for a minute. After all of that was gone, I was hungry again. I was hungry to work, save money, travel, or do other things that keeps me occupied or keeps me going. And I don't know. And first of all, before continuing, I'm a little bit sick, so I have a little bit of a cough. Just be patient with me. I got sick in Europe, unfortunately, but COVID was spiking up over there, and I was affected for a minute, and I'm a lot better now. But anyway, fast forward to 2025. I was just working out again. 100%, 110%, because I was just working like 90% last year when I was with my ex, and I was still in shape, but let's say we did some couple orders from Chick-fil-A, if you know what I mean. So I decided, I'm gonna work out again, hardcore, lose a lot of the, I wasn't fat or anything, but you gain some pounds, lose some pounds, get the abs, focus on a career that I always wanted to, and I'm slowly doing that. And second of all, saving money, a very difficult task because I have some things that I have to pay off, and I started, everything started to fall in place. So MGTOW started to prove to me that was one of the best routes that I should have took since last year when I was, last year I made more money. It's just I blew it off. I was excited, and I was still like slowly transitioning to black pill, black pill until I started to see the reality of dating. So 2025, a lot of courage, a lot of new things started. I started the channel. I started saving money again, learning how to do other things, and slowly I started to feel that a little bit of ambition coming back on, and it started to spark a lot of new desires, new curiosities. So, October, I made a video where it was the anniversary of the last breakup of with my ex, and that felt really good. Nothing of disturbance occur because relationships, a lot of disturbing things can appear in your life because you're involving another person that has nothing to do with you, which is not blood related or anything. And November came, this particular November 19th, and holy cow, getting in that car again, putting your luggage into your back of your seat, driving to the airport was a feeling that I totally forgot. I couldn't believe that I didn't appreciate traveling as much as I used to be. Don't get me wrong, I was always excited and appreciative that I could travel, but I didn't appreciate it like this time. This time was a different spark feeling. Just by denying, unnecessary relationships this year, allow me to travel, allow me to do the things that I wanted to do. I lost a lot of weight. When I mean a lot of weight, I was never like particularly fat or anything. It's just I gained like probably like 10 pounds. I lost 10 pounds. I'm back in like in the 160s, 150s. I'm like 5'6", 5'7". This year I could do boxing, I could do Muay Thai, I could dance, read a lot, work as much as I wanted to. I didn't have to really make time for someone that doesn't even didn't appreciate the effort that I was putting into the relationship like last year. So just getting inside the airport, going through, putting my luggage. Going through the. It's kind of like when you go to the airport, you have to get your boarding pass and you register your luggage, and you're on your way to. You go through like the TSA or the security check, and now you're on your gate. It was a different feeling this time. Like I couldn't believe that things that I was missing out in the world, just for the simple fact that I decided to submit to someone that never really appreciated me or didn't really care about things that I was going through. I didn't even gotta, yeah, I gotta thank you. If you know what I mean, when you're dating, you gotta thank you with other ways or other means. But never really like a thank you letter or anything special for the things that I had to do with my ex to bail her out. So going back into the airport or stepping out on plane again, I was extremely happy. I was excited. I couldn't believe that. Like I was thinking, that I'm glad I found the MGTOW. Like the MGTOW really gave me some discipline. It gave me other alternatives to do better in life, to do better for myself. Like I just want to become this brand new person who is more productive, more smarter. I want to become more wiser. A lot of things in 2025 I've achieved. This is where okay. MGTOW wasn't really it wasn't a bad opportunity. It was great. At first I didn't know if I was just doing this out of bitterness or MGTOW just gave me things that I needed to learn about, things that I wish I would have known earlier. And so that was, MGTOW, I can say it gave me some benefits, some things, to have faith again. This is why, I don't sound bitter, I don't sound too black pill. It's just You gotta give yourself some time. I think when you're young, you're more bitter, and when you're older, a little bit older, in your 30s, you're more wiser. And honestly, I'm not giving the people that want to see me down the victory sign. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to strive for something better. If I'm going to be single for the entire rest of my life, so be it. I don't care anymore. I'm not going to waste time or put out effort, sweat, and blood to a person that would never really is going to really appreciate me. Don't get me wrong. Life is cruel. That's whoever's out there. There's times where you're just given a little bit of a test, and this is what really happened when I got on the first plane from Chicago to Copenhagen. Obviously I'm not a rich guy. I live off a salary, but I just save money. So before continuing the story, a little tip for you guys: save $50, save $100, starting for 8 months, or $200 if you can, and do it as much as you can. Save it each week. Be disciplined. Never grab that money. Make it for a purpose. That's what I do for traveling. Then I book a trip 8 months earlier, and get my Airbnbs 5 months earlier, and you're set. You don't need a lot to enjoy the world. And specifically, people like us who are considered excess males, you don't really go out to the bars. You don't go out to spend money on other people that are not worth it. So I was excited, getting in the plane. It's kind of like ridiculous to say, but you're thinking MGTOW and listening to other wiser men allow me to get back to some of the hobbies that I truly enjoy is traveling. And when I reached my seat, um, that little glimpse, that little test of how the world is, or society, or destiny is cruel. As I was walking to my seat, I spotted this beautiful girl, exotic looking. She wasn't American. She was from somewhere in, I think, Turkish. I don't know. I don't remember exactly. I got a little bit of a conversation with her because she's the one that initiated the conversation, not because she found me attractive. She was just asking me questions, and that's how you continue. But anyway, um, she was gonna sit next to me because if you never been on a bigger planes that it is like, I think it's like a 780 Airbus. I'm not 100% sure, but it's one of these like Airbus that is made for long distance travel. You have like 4 seats in the middle. Actually, 3 seats in the middle, 3 seats on each side, depending on the airplane. Some of them have two, some of them have three. But anyway, I was sitting next to on the left side of the wing. So, excuse me, guys. So, when I got into the plane, as I was about to put my book back on the cabin, on the storage cabin, whatever you want to call it. And I see this girl, and she's like, are you in this section? I'm like, yeah, that's my seat. Okay, she stands up, and not, a little bit shorter than me. Exotic features, very fit. And this is something, it's cruel to say, here in the US, you don't see a lot of fit girls as much as even the ones that go to the gym, they're fit, but this girl had a particular different look. I don't know if it's because we eat different foods. Our food here in the US is more processed, so we get a little bit more. It's like we get more, we just get more, we get like inflammation from food. I don't know. This girl was different. It's cruel. It's a test. Don't get me wrong. I know I don't have it. I wouldn't probably never have a chance with her. I don't know, but don't get me wrong. I don't consider her like extremely beautiful. Obviously, I know what I'm talking about, but she was beautiful to me. She was like femme, pretty features, and it's cruel. You get to see that, and for a minute, you forget that excitement of being tired. You're like, holy cow! What if was this like a wrong decision? But here's the thing, though. You're gonna get these type of tests because I don't know if society really hates you, but they want to see you downfall. If traveling or whatever faith makes you like be productive, they're gonna try to put you any type of obstacle so you can fall down again. That's what happened to me when I was in these relationships. I wasn't really being myself. I was not being 100% productive. I think as you're getting this comfortable stage, and yeah, like I decided to ignore her. I just went to my seat. I watched the movie, ate my dinner, that surf, read a little bit of one of my books, and I went to bed. One thing I always dislike about how this world is, how it works, it's super cruel. you're trying to really forget about the things that you're trying to, that make you realize why you're considered unique from others and why you decided to be super disciplined with your weekends, you're saving money. And this is not trying to be a creep or anything. This is just reality. When someone, like I said, this girl was fit. She was, you can tell she's very athletic. And if I now that I remember, I think she was Turkish, I believe. Um, shout out to the Turkish friends. One thing that it was very difficult to not notice is I'm not going to go in far in detail because I do still respect the females. Don't get me wrong, I'm not like a creep or anything. It's just wow, the way she tried to sleep. So honestly, when you're in the plane, it's 8 hours long. It's like once you're in the air for about an hour, after takeoff, they start serving food. You watch your movie. This girl, I can tell she was pretty tired, so she was trying to fall asleep in a position where her back and other parts of her body was facing towards me, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is very sad. It's cruel. It's like it. Don't get me wrong. I had no chance with this girl anyway, but it's like that desire starts to spark in you, so you can fall for another trap with the destructive relationships. It's like the enemies. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a hated guy, but I have people that are jealous because I can do things. I don't know. It's like if you're like not the popular guy in your town, in your community, or your friends group, you're always gonna have that hater, and that hater might have just always. These are like the haters that I have always brag about their kids, their wives, their girlfriends. Because I'm still like the single guy for my 30, for being a 31-year-old male. You never know, but it's like that hate is always sparking into something. So obviously that girl was obviously, yeah, she was attractive and that little desire, but the things that kept me going from ignoring this girl was, first of all, there's no chance, so why even like think about it? Why torture myself? Second of all, why if I'm going to be sad just because I don't have what others have? This girl, yeah, she's beautiful, but I don't know if she really is. Um, Even if I wanted to get back into a relationship, it's always destructive relationships that I get rewarded with. So why even torture my mental health? I'd just rather be happy with other things. And this is just temporary. This girl might be beautiful, but okay, so she is a beautiful. I think she was considered. Would call her a Stacy 7. The only down factor with this beautiful lady was, um, she had exotic features, but you can tell when she ages. It's like going back to some of the wise words of Batman and Beyond 6 for Revenge is this girl is athletic. She's enjoying the world, and from what I see from her phone, she's probably already found a boyfriend. I don't know for sure. Like she was traveling as well. Is once she hits her comfort zone, all of that, all those features, all that fitness levels that she's on, is gonna go away eventually because she's gonna get comfortable. She already got what she wanted. She's already enjoying the world. So why technically she's, and I found out she was athletic. I forgot what sport she used to participate on, but she already retired. Like I said, we conversated for a little bit because I had to keep going to the bathroom. You know, and she noticed me, and I think she started talking to me because I don't know. For some odd reason, she just asked me a question, and we conversated, and I found out things about her. So one of the things that I found pretty amusing is she retired from sports. She doesn't even work out. So I asked her if she's still continuing her fitness journey. She claims that she's done with that. She's just enjoying the world. So eventually she's going to start to really get in those comfortable stages where it's going to start to show her, her weight gain. This is not being a hater. This is reality. This is facts. Look it up for yourself. These typical individuals, it doesn't matter if it's a male or female, when they're comfortable, they forget about their ambition. They start to not work out anymore. They eat whatever they want. And I hope I'm wrong, because this girl should not even waste her Even though I'm never gonna date her, or maybe she might have hated me just for sitting next to her. I don't know. It's still very pleasant to see someone beautiful because it does make the journey go a little bit smooth. Don't get me wrong, I'm still MGTOW. It's just seeing that beauty next to you makes the trip even better. Don't get me wrong, like, yeah, like, I am MGTOW. I don't hate women. Passion Joy has no resentment for women. It's just circumstances he's not lucky enough. And you say, well, you had girlfriends, yeah, but none of them were my match looks, or none of them really. I was just more convenient more than anything. But the journey was worth it. Um, like I said, from her cell phone, because she kind of showed me a picture. I think she was getting close to engagement, but yeah, she's gonna get, eventually she's gonna fade out, and that's something that kept me going. Is one thing is, even though I'm single, 31, I still look pretty young for my age because I do try to take care of myself as much as I can, despite that I might have some bad habits like smoking cigarettes, but I don't smoke all the time. But I have my reasons to. I just work out, eat healthy, try to be smarter, be more wiser, and conserve my body because I do want to enjoy the things that I like in this world still, which is traveling, be able to walk long distance, have the conditioning, my ligaments and health, make sure they're healthy. Because eventually this girl, also like her culture, I don't know as much, but she's gonna put a stop to that traveling because let's face it, we know how the Middle East, I'm not here, this is not trying to talk down on the Middle East or anything. From what I've known, particular women from the Middle East have to be a little bit more submissive, which I could be wrong. Like, I don't, let me know in the comment section if you guys know more about Turkish or Middle East. But yeah, it's a cruel test, you're excited and you might have that little regret of being single because you see beautiful women, specifically they start talking to you, but it's just an illusion. It's not reality. Think about it. Yeah, like, you're going to see beautiful women every day, but not everything's forever. Everything's temporary. Or maybe this girl, if she marries that guy, and she finds out that she made a mistake because sometimes you miss your old lifestyle. It's like me when I was dating this girl. I'm not going to be dishonest. I got to be truthful. It's like, it was never peaches and cream. It was peaches and cream for like 2 weeks, but slowly everything faded away because I was never attracted to the girl physically, or I liked her for her personality. But when things don't add up anymore, when they don't fall in place anymore, you start to really regret your decisions. Like when I was in my last relationship, I was so bitter because I couldn't travel anymore. I couldn't do the things that I truly enjoyed because I had another person to take care of, and it kind of put a dent to my financial, to my time, my schedule. And now that I'm once again free, I was very happy. I was very excited when I got on that plane. Something that I almost could have lost throughout my life because you can get married and then things are not going to ever be the same. And like I said, this was the first test. The second test was in London. I don't know what is it, but I always found Middle Easterner girls very exotic, despite like, I understand the European beauty, it's one of the best in the world, but like, I know it's easy to be biased. I know I'm not biased. I am truthful. Like, don't get me wrong, every culture has beautiful women, even despite that Hispanics might not get the best reputation with the beauty standards, but sometimes you're shocked that some girls out of your culture are extremely astonishing beautiful. And that's what happened to me when I was in London. The last day in London before going to Barcelona, I happened to stumble across this, like, so if you're in London by the castle, I forget the name of the castle, you're like in a lake, it's like the bridge, the castle, and then you cross over the castle, you're in this like it's the lake, river. I'm sorry. It's like you're by the rivers, on the side of the river. They made like this like skyscraper / park to walk in, and they have like little. Man, I'm sorry for the terminologies. I kind of tend to forget some of the words, but what I'm trying to talk about or mention is. So in this part of London, I forget, since I'm not like I wasn't there for a lot, so I do tend to forget names. I happen to be in Adelaide or Adelaide, I don't know how the British pronounce it, 'cause I know, but it's just like besides the Big Ben, you go to the castle. Which, if you're British or you're a British guy that comes to my channel, please let me know in the comment section. Then you have the bridge. You walk across the bridge, and then you're on the side of the river. There's like a walking area. You have like your little fancy restaurants, your skyscrapers, and then you have like a battleship or World War II battleship. Second of all, there's like these little like temporary businesses, or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know if they're temporary, but it's like outside business shacks where you can buy food or buy things for Christmas, or any sweets or any jewelry or any type of anything that you can consider a Christmas gift. So I still am in a looks match just so I can feel, just like I learned to love myself more than anything. I'm not even doing this to attract girls, but I found something of my interest. As I came across and stumbled, there was this beautiful Iranian girl, like very beautiful skin, very exotic looking. It's like one of these rare combinations of light skin with a little bit of like olive skin, very beautiful. Like they say, Persian beauty. And she gave me, like, honestly, I know what she was doing. Her tactics is trying to sell me or try to get my attention towards her, because she gave me this flirtatious look, but I know it wasn't true at all. It's a tactic. You get me over there and get the conversation started and convince me. But even though she had very good product, that's the reason that's what already got my attention. It was just to have healthier skin. But and I don't care what people think. So I still look smashed. I'm just trying to be the better version of myself. And despite that, I'm never going to get anything out of it. But honestly, that was the second test. It's like the haters want you to regret your decision for being single, because yeah, like I have haters, but these haters are married. Yeah, they might have gotten the beautiful women, but they're miserable now. This is something that I learned from other channels, that beauty's not forever. These Chats or Stacy's from high school are now bitter because they were married. They went under stress. They lost a lot of their primes. And maybe you're not the popular guy now that you're enjoying your life. It's like they want to see you bitter. Because here's the thing, when I was with my ex, I was getting invites from a lot of people that I never really considered friends, like invites to their house for cookouts, and they love when I was like struggling. That's something that always got my attention. And now that I'm single, I don't even get calls anymore. Nobody even calls me anymore. It's like, I don't know, but this is something to really think about. So yeah, like the Turkish girl, the Iranian girl, beautiful women, but I moved on. It's not true at all. Never gonna ever get a girl similar to them or even close to them anyway. But it's all an illusion. It's not real. It's a Disney dream that they sell to us so we can be more slaves. If you think about it, once you're submitted to someone, you kind of have to really be compatible to make it work. So you don't make sure that your investment was well made, because once you're married, you kind of have to find a house. You gotta do some investment, because I know women are the only thing I notice about men and women, men can be more simple, women can be more God, I always forget this term. I know it in Spanish, vanidad, or for my Spanish speaker, if you can translate the word, I'll appreciate in the comment section. Vanidad, it's like you're not like necessarily you're materialistic, but I have to look it up. Like, this is what happens when you have a lot of other terms, or you speak double languages. You tend to like forget some of the terminology, but it's kind of like the girl wants to be a little bit tentatious with her things, make it more princess. Make it very get people's attention, kind of like that. You're not going to be able to do the things that you can do when you're young. That's something that my mother even told me when I was before this last ex, the previous ex that I had. It's like, really think about it, man, because the way your ambitions or the way you travel is, you're not going to be able to afford it once you're locked in, because you're gonna have to one way or another succumb to your partner, because your partner is going to determine if this relationship is going to work or not, and you don't want to waste more time. So honestly, it's an illusion. It's not real. This is why I'm not even sad anymore. This is why I don't feel petty for myself or feel ashamed or embarrassed that I'm not doing anything wrong. I work hard. I try to pay my bills. I try to become as the better version of myself. Even getting up from stumbles that I crossed in my life. Don't feel ashamed ever if you still live a little bit with your parents. If you're saving money, if you're being productive, not wasting your money on dumb things, and don't feel ashamed of it. Despite all the criticism, it's because people are so bitter. They're unhappy. Because honesty is not. I don't even have anything against Chad or Stacy, even like the haters. They're only haters because they know they mistreated me back in high school, and now my life has improved, and theirs has stagnated because they were lied to. They were told that they should have gotten married a lot sooner, or whatever reason, and they never got that. I never considered it freedom. I call it freedom, but for society, it's not freedom. It's just I took my time to get to know who I am, what I like, what I can do, my true potential. And these individuals in high school, they were pressured to succeed. You had to go to college, get married, have the kids, get into debt to make sure you're a productive member of society, and that's a very difficult task to do because you're now in debt. Think about it. After high school, what was in your mind? University, college, or if were not smart enough for college, or you didn't have the proper grades, you were either going to a local community college, trade skills, or depending on what part of the United States you happen to be on. But in my case, there's a lot of industry. Get into the industry work, and then form the family, move out of the house, and that's the process 101 for bitterness in life. And I'm very glad I never succumbed to that. And it was a blessing in disguise that I was a little bit religious at the time. My religion kind of allowed me to miss some things in life, which I was very resentful. But now it's like, I'm kind of glad I never got married. I'm kind of glad that I never brought, blessings to the world, because I don't know if this world was meant for them. But there's a lot of things to think about. I'll say just enjoy your single life, man. If you're like in the doomers, defeatists, because I used to be in that. Don't get me wrong, 2020 to 2022, I was very defeated. Like, I barely worked. Like, I didn't work out, I just ate whatever, and I would read, but don't get me wrong, I was still a little bit, productive, but I would just be at the house. Like, I didn't even want to go out anymore. I don't know, something just sparked in me and say, this is not the way to live. There's other things that I have to discover. Your life, you have to discover. You have to do the extra work. Exes smell like us. We have to work 5 times harder, or find out a specific gem that we all were brought into this world, because it's a cruel and mean and evil world. People just want to see you down. Nobody really cares about you. And your family members, maybe I don't know if it's genetics in the human race, but there's times where you feel like, I don't know, like your family members they're not even going to be there for you all the time. Once they're stuck with another person, they're not the same person. Like my siblings, they're not the same anymore. We talk on a regular basis, but everybody's in their own selfish program where how they can live better without, including the other siblings. If you know what I mean, it's just, it's a sad reality. It's like for me today, I'm trying to do some DoorDash, despite that it's extremely cold, but I have all the necessary equipment to be warm. You just gotta work as much as you can to save some money for your retirement. That's what I can think about is retirement, the career. As long as there's no other obstacles or something that changes the world where now there's a new system we gotta live by, because things can change. So yeah, that's pretty much what a passionate traveler wants to share out with you, to the audience, is I guess this traveling, it wasn't just about vacationing or having a good time. It was like an eye-opener to the world. And see, this was a very strange vacation. It wasn't just, I want to join the cuisines, join the local areas, or have fun. I went with a very different purpose. I enjoy the nature, I enjoy the historical sites. And just enjoy why I went to the right route. And I don't know, it was an eye-opener for a passion traveler to really see why the world, you have to really discover it on your own. And yeah, like I still believe in the black pill, I still believe in MGTOW, but I'm just a very different passion traveler. I'm not saying I'm not humorous. Don't get me wrong. I'm still sad in how the things went out, turned out to be. Because, like I said, yes, in my mindset, I cannot forget about the Turkish girl and the Iranian girl. But I know that's an unrealistic thing that will ever happen in my lifetime. So why am I not defeated anymore? I just don't know. I just don't want to give the haters the victory. I'd rather fight. It doesn't even matter. They might get their victory because they're never going to see me with a girl or having children. But at least I can enjoy the life that I want to. And honestly, I don't even care about the haters. They can hate on me all they want. And even if they end up winning, I don't really care because I don't even see what the battle is anymore. Like, I have moved beyond past relationships, guys, that there's times that I don't know, like, before I end this, the video, there's times where I wake up, I'm like, wait a minute, so bills are paid, I have food at the table, I have work, I have my car. It's like today is the weekend, it's Saturday. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have that, eager feeling to wake up extra early to get some of the things done so I can spend time with the ex. I just wake up and I'm like, what do I want to do today? Do I just want to stay at the house, work out, or work out and go somewhere, or do some DoorDash? And it's a weird feeling because being a guy 31, I don't have to give give my explanations to no one. I don't know. It's like now that I'm waking up, I don't feel ashamed. I don't feel weird because I used to wake up feel ashamed that I'm single. I don't have this other lifestyle that everybody has. It's just we were all programmed to feel ashamed just because we don't do other things. We don't follow the other sheets. We're just unique. We're all doing our own journey. I'm just living my life, and like today, I was just like, man, this feels great. Because last year I couldn't even do nothing that was of my own interest. I had to do everything of the ex, or else she would have thrown a fit and caused a drama. It was just one of these best feelings that I ever experienced. So I don't know, guys. Everybody has their own journey, their own life. I don't know exactly the future of this channel because I don't have anything else to share to the Black Pill. And I'm not saying I'm not Black Pill. It's just I think I've graduated. Even Doomer Tejana, shout out to Doomer Tejana. I really hope he's doing all right for himself. And before continuing, if Doomer Tejana ever comes across this video, one thing I've been noticing about you, brother, is you have a lucky special talent with public speaking. I do happen to believe that you have the talent, you have the initiative spark to start a video and get people's interest. So look into that, brother. I hope he comes across this channel. But anyway, shout out to you, man. And thank you for your information. You were one of the first persons that made me realize that something wasn't adding up. But anyway, Doomer Tejana mentioned this, I think it was like a couple months ago, where, yeah, like Black Pill is true, but you don't want to be Black Pill all the time. You just want to kind of move on. And I think once you hit your 30s, you realize you hit rock bottom hardcore. It's time for you to bounce back because this world is cruel. Besides, unless you do the impossible, which you know what I mean. But you gotta survive. It's like me, I live in the Midwest. Maybe I can show you guys a little bit. It's extremely cold. Cold. It's this this winter is very brutal. It's one of the worst winters that I ever experienced because it's like we're in 6 degrees. It's snowing, not snowing right now, but it was snowing earlier. And I don't want to be living in the streets. Being cold. And I had some people that work with us that were working and they were homeless. One, because they had some addictions, but I don't know. I'll say 2026 is on the second part of graduating. 2025 I graduated from a lot of things, but I just gotta look after myself. Nobody else is gonna look after you. And yeah, society it's not nice to nobody. So you guys do your own research, learn about yourself, and if you're still in your 20s, it's normal to feel defeated because you're not living See, when I was younger, I just wanted to have fun, enjoy the life. But I wish I would have known that sooner or later. I would have done more things that I would have not. I would have probably have more things accomplished more than anything else. But it's a life lesson learned. And I really hope this video makes sense. I hope I don't bore you guys. I don't have that same charisma or charm to talk like everybody else. But you guys have a good Saturday. I hope you guys can learn something from this video. Love yourselves, enjoy yourselves, because this life is very difficult. You guys take care, peace out, and peace.